Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Troy, Sportstalk82 here, back with you for the NFL Divisional round. I'm doing picks like I did for the wild card round last week. If you want to go watch those videos, it's on my channel, but I'll save you the trouble and tell you I went 2-2. I picked the Bengals to beat the Chargers because I didn't think that Andy Dalton would be that bad, and I also picked. Oh, I picked the Chiefs and looked like a genius for the uh, first 3 quarters of the game, and then for the fourth quarter, that pick didn't really work out for me. But I'm back here again, trying to go 3-1 this week. You got to make improvements, you know what I'm saying. But first game was the Seahawks versus the Saints, and I'm gonna start this video by saying the Seahawks. They're clearly the more talented team on the defensive side of the ball, and they have a lot of talent all over their field. The Pro Bowlers at quarterback, running back, offensive line, and pretty much their whole secondary, their cornerback, their free safety, and their strong safety will be going to Hawaii. Richard Sherman is probably the shutdown corner in the league, and I know he'd love to hear me say that. But one question mark for them all year was their receiving threats. Golden Tate had a great year, but he's not. He doesn't have that much talent as some of the other receivers. He's not as tall, and other than him, also they have no sit-out talent. I mean, I'll take Colston over Doug Baldwin and Jimmy Graham over Zach Miller any day. But with Harvin coming back this game, it completely changes the game. Harvin's one of the most dangerous and quickest receivers in the NFL, and he also has a huge effect on special teams. So I think that Harvin coming back is a huge deal for the Seahawks. It really gives them a receiving threat. It gives them some offensive firepower. You don't just have to hand it off to Lynch every play or throw it to Zach Miller or someone like that. You can actually have a bona fide star. They'll probably be able to get him in on a couple wide receiver screens too. And since we didn't get to look at their schedule last week, since we didn't play, we went back and looked at all the schedules of the other team and saw how they did. One loss all year, one home loss all year. I'm sorry, it looks very promising if you're a Seahawks fan, and it is to Arizona, who, I mean, I think they could have easily been a playoff team in the AFC. They played a little shakily against Houston in Week 5, and actually at home versus Tampa Bay in Week 9, but they did come away with overtime wins. It's really important in the playoffs to be able to win your close games. I mean, they didn't blow a lot of teams out, but the fact that they're able and used to winning by a slight margin, because not a lot of games in the playoffs are blowouts. I mean, just look at last week. I think that's a big skill for them. They and the Saints did not play this year, so this is the first time the two have been able to prepare for each other. We'll see how that turns out. The Saints were able to actually have a better understanding of how they're going to play because they played last week. Last week wasn't their greatest game. I think that drop ball by Riley Cooper, if you're watching the game in the second half, was a huge critical turning point of the game. But the Saints did play smart. They ran the ball pretty effectively, which I wasn't sure if Sean Payne was going to be able to run the ball. I thought he was just going to be able to pass it. And their defense did a pretty fantastic job of stopping the high-powered Chip Kelly offense that we've heard so much about this season. Their defense stopped LaShawn McCoy pretty well, which is very impressive because McCoy is the leading rusher in the NFL in the regular season. But seeing how Lynch is a completely different style of runner, he's more of a power runner as McCoy wants to get to the outside. I think I'm not really sure that translates, but we'll just see. We'll just have to see how the D faces such a great talent like Marshawn Lynch. If their first touchdown scored of this game is in the third quarter, like it was versus the Eagles, they'll probably lose. Breeze threw more picks and touchdowns against the Eagles. If that happens, they'll probably lose. And part of why they were so effective last week was because of their running game. It averaged 5.1 yards per carry, and I'm not sure that that'll be able to translate. But if it does, that'll definitely increase their chances. So overall, very intriguing game. It pairs probably the best secondary in football against some of the best receivers in football. I think that the Seahawks will win in a close game. Russell Wilson is such a smart guy at quarterback. He's the exact type of quarterback that you want for your franchise. And also he has speed to get out of the pocket to avoid Cameron Jordan, who had 1.5 sacks against the Eagles. So I think that plays into effect. I think the Saints running game will have a tough time getting going, which will force Breeze to pass more than he'd like to against the Seahawks. Downright awesome secondary. So that's just my opinion on the game. I'm sure if you're a Saints fan, you have something else to say, and I'm sure if you're a Seahawks fan, you'll be like, yeah. But if you have those feelings, anything you want to talk about sports related, leave it in the comments below. Subscribe to this channel. I'll be cranking out videos like this for the other 3 games, so if you want to see those, go right ahead. Subscribe. I play video games too, as you can see by the 2 videos of my online dynasty that are on my channel. Those are some great games, and I got another one coming up. So subscribe so you can see all of it, and I'll talk to you later. Peace out.